I'd like to thank my colleagues for their support. We have come a long way. We still have a long way to go. This year, we also celebrate the fact that the Black Caucus has been the largest it's ever been in the history of California, celebrating and honoring 12 members of the Black Caucus. Please give them a round of applause. I would respectfully ask for your aye vote on SR 11.
All debate having ceased, is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 36, 35, no 0. That resolution is adopted. Thank you, Senator Hall, and to all of you who are here, thank you so much for being with us today.
Hold on. Mr. President, we are recognizing through the resolution.
Senator Hall, for what purpose, sir?
Yes, Madam President, I rise for...
Under privileges of the floor.
Under privileges of the floor.
Without objection.
Thank you. Madam Speaker, Madam President, we have several individuals here that we would like to recognize very quickly who have done extraordinary work in their communities throughout the state of California. Each member of the Legislative Black Caucus this month, today, is honoring individuals who have sacrificed their time and effort in making our community a much better place to live and to grow our families. And today, we're honored to recognize them. As the Vice Chair of the Legislative Black Caucus, I am pleased to present and recognize, again, an individual from my community who has been recognized throughout this nation for her remarkable work. Mayor Asia Brown is responsible for creating policies that ensure residents of Compton are included into every aspect of the development process, initiating community-led downtown revitalization action committees, overseeing the agency's urban planning and economic development initiatives, working with President Barack Obama with My Brother's Keepers program, making sure that our community of Compton is granted an equal opportunity like communities that are more affluent. Her work as the mayor is, I would say, is probably better than any mayor that have ever been elected to the great city of Compton. I'm not saying that because she's a Trojan, but she is. I'm not saying that because she's the second African-American woman to be elected in the history of Compton, the last one being 40 years ago as mayor. I'm saying it because, indeed, she's dynamic in her own right. And ladies and gentlemen, please help me in honoring our honorable Mayor Asia Brown.
Senator Mitchell, under privileges of the floor.
Yes, Madam President, thank you very much. Again, colleagues, this is the caucus Black History Month celebration, and Senator Hall will introduce you to the other distinguished Californians who are flanking the back of the chambers, who were recognized fully on the assembly floor. If you would allow me very briefly to introduce you to the distinguished resident of the 30th Senate District who I am thrilled to honor today. In 1992, the Los Angeles Times had a banner headline that acknowledged the state of LA as a result of the uprising and instilled a sense of hope in one gentleman and one nonprofit organization and their ability to bring hope and healing back to Los Angeles after the uprising. And that gentleman is Mr. Ayuku Babu. The theme of today's presentation is a century of Black life, history, and culture. And Mr. Babu really reflects on the culture aspect of our theme in that since 1992, he's been the executive director of what has grown to be the largest film festival in the world. Not Sundance, which has about 7,000 people a year, but the Pan-African Film and Arts Festival that takes place in Leimert Park every Black History Month, which 2014 had the opportunity to see 35,000 people participate in a film festival. The Pan-African Film Festival is a nonprofit organization that's dedicated to the promotion of cultural understanding among peoples of African descent. The Pan-African Film Festival is dedicated to racial tolerance through the exhibition of film, art, and creative expression. That's critical because all of us are often engaged in a dialogue about what the role of the media and images in the media, social media, movies, television, how that impacts cultural understanding and cultural sensitivities. And so for the African American community and for women, making sure that our images in the media, in film, films that are produced all over the world, accurately reflect the positive image that we want to portray. And so it's a wonderful opportunity every year during Black History Month. The festival has grown from 1992 with 40 films to this year there'll be over 150 films. It has grown to include panels and workshops and a student component that my son goes to the Children's Film Festival every year. It has grown to be a significant arts and cultural event worldwide. It has grown to become the largest Black History Month event in the country, and we're very proud that it takes place in California, and I'm most proud that it takes place in my home community, Leimert Park, Crenshaw. Mr. Ayuku Babu.
Thank you, Senator Mitchell. Senator Hall.
Yes, Madam President, from our Legislative Black Caucus Chairman's District, the Honorable Reggie Jones Sawyer, please welcome Mrs. Jackie DuPont Walker. Mr. Jones Sawyer, please come forward. Ms. DuPont Walker has served on various boards and in many civic organizations. She possesses more than 40 years of professional work in the public and private sector. She has trailblazed on behalf of women, multicultural communities, and people of color in many areas. Please welcome Mrs. DuPont Walker.
Welcome to our chamber.
From Assemblymember Kevin McCarthy's district. Please welcome Dr. David Colvin. Dr. David Colvin is a scholar, publisher, activist, and professor emeritus of government and Pan-African studies at Cal State University, Sacramento. He is doing an extraordinary job in changing the lives of people of color. Please welcome Dr. Colvin.
Welcome to Dr. Colvin.
From Assemblymember Jim Cooper's district. Please welcome Pastor Ephraim Williams. Pastor Williams has served as pastor of St. Paul Baptist Church for over 40 years. St. Paul has grown from 100 to over 5,000 members under his leadership, helping to save lives and make our community a better place. Please welcome Pastor Williams.
Welcome to Pastor Williams.
From Assemblymember Tony Thurman's district, who was just elected to the State Assembly. He's also a member of the Latino Caucus, and he's the first African American to serve in that district since 1967. Tony Thurman. Tony Thurman's honoree is Dr. Jabor Bashri. He was awarded a Miller Research Professorship and became a distinguished lecturer in 2000. In 2001, he was a co-investigator of the successful proposal to NASA for the Kepler mission. Please welcome our esteemed doctor.
Welcome, sir.
From Assemblymember Chris Holden's district. Please welcome Ms. Joan Williams. Ms. Joan Williams is the widow of former Tuskegee Airman Captain Robert Williams, whom she was married to for 45 years and has been a civil rights leader in Pasadena for decades. Her story is long and holds dear to all of our hearts. Please welcome Mrs. Williams.
Welcome, welcome.
From Assemblymember Cheryl Brown's district, please welcome Mr. Donald Griggs. Mr. Donald Griggs served as military police in the United States Marine Corps and has developed a highly esteemed business and civic career in the Inland Empire. He is a trailblazer in his own right. Please welcome Mr. Donald Griggs.
Welcome, Mr. Briggs.
From Assemblymember Autumn Burke's district, please welcome Henry Porter. Mr. Porter is a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, a retired civil servant, and a respectable community leader. He is an honorary mayor in our community. He does great work for so many people. We're honored to have him. Please welcome Assemblymember Autumn Burke's honoree, Mr. Porter.
Welcome, Mr. Porter.
From Assemblymember Mike Gibson's district, please welcome Dr. Reginald Pope. Dr. Pope has been the pastor of Bethel Missionary Baptist Church in the Watts community of Los Angeles since 1972. He was a trailblazer in helping to reduce crime during the Watts riots. He is also known as the leader of that community, one in which we all respect dearly. Please welcome the Honorable Dr. Pope, Pastor Dr. Pope of Bethel Missionary Baptist Church.
Welcome to our chamber.
From the District of Assemblymember Dr. Shirley Weber. Please welcome Bob and Ardell Matthews. The Matthews have been married for over 60 years. That in of itself deserves a round of applause. They are both ordained elders of the Presbyterian Church and have been an invaluable part of the San Diego philanthropic community for decades, helping to lift youth to become the best that they could possibly be. Please again, welcome the Matthews.
Welcome to you both.
From the district of the Honorable Sebastian Ridley Thomas, with Dr. Richard Pan standing in. Please welcome Keith Black, who could not make it today. Again, Dr. Pan is standing in as a colleague. Dr. Black is an internationally renowned neurosurgeon and scientist in our district. Please give a round of applause for the work of Dr. Black and Dr. Pan. Senators, these 12 individuals are but a few of the many talented African-American Californians who help make our state a more golden hue and who are doing the work every day to help us create a more just, fair, and equal state and nation. Again, please help me, join me in welcoming and congratulating our 2015 Black History Month honorees.
Congratulations to each and every one of you, and thank you for joining us today. Senator De Leon.
Madam President, I know this woman was already introduced. However, I want to make sure we do her justice. Point of personal privilege.
Without objection, sir.
Ms. Joan Williams was just introduced, but it's important that everyone know that she was selected back in 1957 to be the queen of the Rose Bowl Parade for 1958. But back in 1957, after she was officially selected, fair across the board, when they found out her heritage and that she was Black, they withdrew her queenness or the title, of the Rose Bowl parade, and they didn't build a float, or, but they took it away. And this is historic for us, too, because, Ms. Williams, you're our queen. Well, I just want you to know that. So, congratulations, because you are still the Rose Bowl queen of 1958. I just want to make sure we did that for Ms. Williams.
To the Rose Bowl queen of 1958. Thank you. We're going to go back now to file item 7, and we're going to proceed. File item 7, we have about 5 items to proceed with, starting with Senator Monning. File item 7. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 6 by Senator Monning, relative to a sister state relationship with Santa Fe, Argentina.
Senator Monning.
Thank you, Madam President and members. SCR 6 establishes a sister state relationship between the state of California with the province of Santa Fe, Argentina. The state of California and the province of Santa Fe share numerous cultural, social, and economic ties. Strengthening this relationship through the establishment of a sister state designation will foster greater opportunities in trade, education, and cultural exchange. The Senate has developed a strong relationship with lawmakers and other leaders in Santa Fe, Argentina, through a number of reciprocal legislative visits over the last decade. Members, I ask that you formally acknowledge this relationship by voting aye on SCR 6.
Is there any debate or discussion on this item? Seeing and hearing none, is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 34, no 0. Ayes 33, no 0. That that resolution is adopted. File item 8, Senator Fuller, do you wish to proceed with file item 8?
On file.
Pass on file. File item number 9, Senator Fuller, do you wish to proceed?
Pass on file.
Pass on file. File item number 10, Senator Huff. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 10 by Senator Huff, relative to the Lunar New Year celebration.
Senator Huff.
Thank you, Madam President and members. We truly live in a very diverse state, and through that diversity, we have strength. We've seen some of that this morning from the previous presentations. But down in my district, we have a different group, and you may know that some of my community is over 60% Asian. So if you had been following me around for the last couple weeks, you would hear me say, 新年快乐，恭喜发财, and that is a Happy New Year. And actually, the accent wasn't too bad, Senator Mitchell, because my wife is Chinese, as you may know. And so you have before us an opportunity to recognize the new lunar year, which begins in February 19th. So while we celebrate New Year in pretty much one night and a day, they spread it out over a few weeks. And it's recognized by billions around the world. But here in California, it's predominantly celebrated millions of Chinese, Korean, and Vietnamese. And this year ushers out the year of the horse and in with the year of the ram. Now, on that point, sometimes you'll see ram, sometimes you'll see sheep, sometimes you'll see goat. Explain to me that in the Chinese word, it doesn't distinguish. It's one or the other. So if you like ram, fine. If you like sheep, that sounds like it's, a little timid, but it's all the same word. So today you have something that I put out to you that says Year of the Ram, which we found to give you a sense of what goes with that heritage. But also, if you actually read the resolution, you would see Year of the Goat there. So that's why they're pretty much the same. Red is also associated with New Year, so I'm wearing my red tie. But because the Asian American community has contributed greatly to the social, cultural, civic, economic, and academic success of our state, we bring this resolution to you and recognize that to them, New Year, Lunar New Year, is the time of renewal, feasting, and celebrating family ties, certainly something we can all do. So I ask you to join in with me to support SCR 10.
Thank you, Senator Huff. Senator Carol Liu.
Thank you, Madam President, and I want to thank Senator Huff for introducing the Lunar New Year. It would not be appropriate if I didn't just stand up and be part of that Asian voice. So it is a time for reflection, time for celebration, and looking forward for new beginnings. It is the year of the goat, the ram, the sheep. I'm totally confused. But the year of the goat or the ram or the sheep are calm, dependable, intelligent. They are helpful and nurturing, often putting their loved ones' needs over their own. And they may be artistic, make good actors, designers, musicians, teachers. Those born under the sign of this sign include Michelangelo, Barbara Walters, Mark Twain. So, Gung Hei Fat Choi, for those of you who celebrate the Chinese New Year.
Thank you, Senator Liu. Senator Pan.
Thank you. I too want to thank Senator Huff for bringing this very important sort of cultural tradition here to our floor. You know, the API community represents about 15% of California's population. This is an important celebration. It is about renewal and looking forward. And as we tackle the issues that are going to be before us this coming year, I think the blessings of that we give upon each other on Lunar New Year of prosperity and long life are ones that hopefully we can develop policies to make true. So again, thank you so very much.
Thank you. Senator Nguyen.
Thank you, Madam President. I also want to thank Senator Huff for bringing this resolution up, and also want to chime in and say, you know, Happy New Year's. In Vietnamese, it's Chúc mừng năm mới versus the one in Chinese. And so this is actually, yes, it's a celebration for all API, or majority of us, but we do all celebrate in different ways. The Vietnamese culture, we celebrate 3 full days. It is a beginning of a new year, meaning all that's in the past has gone in the past when we step into a new year. And so for us, celebrating 3 full days, and I know all the children who are Vietnamese or API descendant who celebrates New Year loves the red envelopes, because that's when they get to collect their $1 bill, $2 bill, brand new dollar bills, and that's when we start banking what we can have for the full year for us children. And so it's actually very exciting. My children look forward to it. My son, though, is afraid of the dragon. He thinks a dragon, but it's actually a lion. It's a lion dance. But they do go around, and I've always been celebrating it. And again, chúc mừng năm mới to everybody, and looking forward to working with you, and looking forward to the new year for the Senate. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Nguyen. Any further debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Senator Huff, you may close.
You know, I want to call one more characteristic. Senator Liu said Gong Hei Fat Choi, which is Cantonese. I say Gong Si Fat Sai, which is Mandarin. It all means the same. Have a happy new year, and I ask for your aye vote.
All debate having ceased, is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 33, no 0. That resolution is adopted. File item 11, Senator Fuller, pass on file. File item 12, Senator Vidak, not at his desk. And with that, we have completed the daily file. Returning to motions and resolutions, this is the time to adjourn in memory. For any of those who wish to do so, Senator Fuller.
Actually, I would like to request to move items to the inactive file.
Without objection, please identify those items.
Items 8, 9, and 11.
Without objection, that will be the order.
Thank you.
Senator Allen.
Colleagues, I rise today to ask us to adjourn in memory of a really rather extraordinary woman, Rose Orenstein Torin. And she was born into a traditional Jewish family in native Poland as Rosalia Orenstein, and ran away from Nazi soldiers after they pounded on her door in 1939, and was then separated thus from her family. She took on a Christian identity with the help of her Catholic schoolmate, Ursula Grande, whose father was the mayor of a small town. And she was living for quite some time, but only once did she tell someone who she really was out of desperation to be herself. "I am a Jew," she whispered to a woman that she thought was her friend. And that brief admission sent her to Auschwitz. But to the Nazis, she continued to maintain her assumed identity with such tenacity that according to Torin herself, they struggled and said, whoever she is, send her to Auschwitz, she'll die there anyhow. But they were never so sure, so I was spared the ovens. She knitted sweaters a quarter mile from the gas chambers and could see the people off the train line up for the showers. They would push each other to be first. They thought they would be clean and report for work. In the concentration camp, she was recognized by a close friend as Rosalia Orenstein. I looked her in the eyes and said, no, I'm not that person. You're mistaken, and walked away because it had to be. She escaped from Auschwitz only days before the Russians liberated its occupants and fled one step ahead of the Nazis. She eventually made her way back to the United States and came to Beverly Hills. And eventually, after authoring 2 books, Destiny and A New Beginning, which chronicled her early life, escaping the Nazis as a political prisoner and Holocaust survivor of Auschwitz, she built a family. And her wonderful daughter, Lily Bossie, is now the mayor of Beverly Hills and a very good friend of mine. She just passed away last week. She was a Beverly Hills resident for 44 years. Her funeral was this morning. And in lieu of flowers, her family suggests that donations be made in her name, either for the Los Angeles Museum of the Holocaust or the Museum of Tolerance, 2 wonderful institutions in the Los Angeles community that commemorate this extraordinary history. She's a wonderful, amazing example of courage, a strong woman who has been a leader, and her legacy lives on in our community. So I ask that we all adjourn in her memory, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Senator Allen, and please extend the condolences of our House to the mayor and her family. We have now, let's see, Senator Gaines, followed by Senator Bates, and then Senator Nielsen. Senator Gaines.
Great. Thank you, Madam President. And I'd like to ask today that we adjourn in memory to honor one of my constituents, Mark Hansen of Orangevale. Mark enjoyed great success as a commercial concrete contractor who worked on various Sacramento's great iconic buildings, such as the Citizen Hotel, the CalPERS building, and the Federal Courthouse. He was an outdoorsman who loved traveling to Lake Tahoe and Bodega Bay. Mark was an active member of 356 CA Club in Northern California, where he proudly showed off his green 1964 Porsche 356 Cabriolet. He is survived by his wife, Julie Hansen, son Spencer, and 3 daughters, Melissa Williams, Jessica Gauger, and Kristen Hansen. He'll be missed by his family and those lives that he touched. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Gaines, and our condolences to the family. Senator Bates.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, I rise this afternoon to ask that the Senate adjourn in the memory of Jerry Lynn Salyer of Oceanside, quite a beloved member of that community. He was just 61 when he passed away on January 30th. He was a community leader, a business owner, husband, son, brother, stepfather, and grandfather, and most importantly, a friend of our community. He was the owner of Jerry Salyer Insurance and Benefits Management, and whether working with his clients or serving his community, Jerry's advice and his goal was to always follow the golden rule. Some of his many contributions to ensure Oceanside was a great city were serving on the Economic Development Committee, El Corazon Oversight Committee, Police and Fire Commission, Canine Companions for Independence, Rotary President, and twice the chairman of the Oceanside Chamber of Commerce. His tenure as chairman of the chamber was known as a time of cooperation between the city and Camp Pendleton. As a small business owner, he relentlessly advocated for the little guy and quality health care for his clients and their employees. He took great pride in The Beat Goes On, a program that deployed defibrillators throughout Oceanside. His vision for Oceanside will continue to shape the city that he believed was by far the best. To honor Jerry's commitment to Oceanside, a Jerry Salyer Memorial Trust is being established for the purpose of supporting local arts projects. I ask that we adjourn in his memory and send our condolences to his family and friends.
Thank you, Senator Bates. Please do extend those condolences and best wishes, and if you would make sure that the name is brought to the desk so we can properly memorialize it. Senator Nielsen.
Madam President, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, I would rise requesting we adjourn in the honor of Eleanor Anderson, born in 1923 in San Francisco and grew up in Auburn. She married a true American hero, one of the top ace pilots of World War II, Colonel Bud Anderson. They were going to celebrate their 70th wedding anniversary. She died just prior to that glorious occasion. She was called Ellie, and she was known as one who certainly stood by her husband through many, many moves throughout the United States and overseas during his military career. Colonel Bud said that she's the best thing that ever happened to me. And with some 70 years, I'm sure that that is indeed the case. One of the things that she was so valiant at doing with him is going around to the doors of servicemen who died variously in combat or in other accidents to inform the wives of the demise of their husband. That was one of the hardest jobs that she'd ever have to do. They have a son, Jim, who was a pilot in Vietnam, following the footsteps of his dad. Kitty Burlington is their daughter. And she got to see how her mother, the burden that she carried going around family by family when people were lost. A hero and a heroic wife. I would ask that we adjourn in the honor of Eleanor Anderson.
Thank you, Senator, and please extend our condolences to the Anderson
more.
family. There is a second one.
second
All right, Senator Nielsen.
Another World War II hero, the last surviving officer who was in Pearl Harbor, that was in the Yuba Sutter area, and said to be the last surviving officer of the USS Arizona. December 7th, 1941, he actually was on shore, probably why he survived that terrible tragedy. But his duty then was to remove the bodies and the wounded, to get them some help, and some internment was proper for them on that very sad day. He had a long career in the military. He was a mainstay at the Veterans Day Parade, including last November in Marysville, California. We don't have too many left. It said that there was only around 7 or so of those Pearl Harbor survivors, and he was one of them. We mourn his loss, and we ask that we adjourn in our memory.
Thank you, Senator. And please make sure that the name is brought forward so that we can properly memorialize it. Are there any other items under motions and resolutions? Seeing and hearing none. If there is no other business, Senator Monning, the desk is clear.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, the Senate will be in recess till 3:30, which time the adjournment motion will be made. We will reconvene Friday morning at 9 a.m. Members, Friday morning, 9 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Monning. The Senate will be in recess until 3:30, at which time the adjournment motion will be made, and we will be reconvening on Friday morning at 9 a.m.